Welcome back to Friar Talk, everybody. After many months of not recording,
Dude, I'm
we
so
we
happy.
got some trade rumors, man. As you have probably known, I mean the channel, dude. If you think about it, the channel's like 6 seasons long now, so it's a little harder now. You know, we're grown ups. When we started, we were just free every single morning in college and in COVID, and it was like we just like finding stuff to do. But I mean, I feel like it's still fun to talk Padres baseball. I'm kind of eager to hop on and chat about stuff. Today, like since we haven't talked in so long, we'll kind of talk about the overall Padres before we get into it. But main stuff we're gonna bring up today: Jiren Duran, and Shawn Murphy. Those are the two trade rumors right now the Padres have. We'll dissect those a little bit, talk about like overall trade deadline plans, and then we're putting this one out. Also, Chase and I we're going to record an episode shortly as well on Dylan Cease about if we should trade Dylan Cease, which I think a lot of people are interested in. So yeah, that's kind of the game plan. I don't know how we'll do, how we'll have Fire Talk set up moving forward. Maybe we can figure out a way to catch up, occasionally or routinely or something like that. I don't think we'll ever. I mean, maybe we will, but I don't think we're ever going to get back to the every morning thing. I think that we all have different schedules and we all have jobs and we all have to do stuff now, which actually sucks.
Being a grown up sucks.
Yeah, being a grown up is terrible. Yeah, no one told. Actually, dude, I actually remember I saw a few comments when we had started where people were like, "Man, just wait until these guys have to grow up and they can't talk about Padres baseball anymore." And now I literally think about it. Yeah, they were right, dude. But yeah, so now we're all split up. We're all across the U.S. We're all working different time zones. But it's still fun to talk Padres baseball. Hopefully, we get a decent amount of people watching this video. It's trade rumors, so everyone gets all excited about trade rumors. Before we get into them, though, let's get into it. Let's talk this. Let's talk about it. First thing, and there's no way to put it. We just got to put this out bluntly. The Padres offense sucks. All right. The Padres offense is terrible. That doesn't mean that there's not key pieces in it. Doesn't mean that it's not fixable. But right now, the Padres are sitting, I believe, a half game out of a wild card spot since they won last night, right? I think that's correct. Since the Giants didn't play. Yeah, they're sitting. So we're recording this on Friday. So I don't know where it's going to pop out. Maybe it'll pop out on Saturday. But right now, Padres are half a game out of a wild card spot to the Giants. The Mets are 2 games above them. The Brewers are 2.5 games above them as well. You have Dodgers, Cubs, Phillies. They're not that far ahead, like record wise, but they're all like kind of powerhouses. It feels like. You got the Cardinals, you got the Reds, and you kind of got the Diamondbacks all floating behind a little bit. But it does feel like the Padres are going to be competing with, I mean, at least the way I see it, Brewers, Mets, Giants, us are the 4 teams that are truly in the mix. The Cardinals, I don't want to discount them, but whatever. At this point, the Padres could easily be like 5-6 games back with how they've played. I think that's something that we need to bring up. Before we talk about the problems, though, shout out the pitching staff, Ruben Niebla, Nick Pivetta, all of the Padres pitching depth, the bullpen, though they've had some rough little spats, they have been overworked insanely. They come up clutch all the time. They come up and they have big outings. And even though it's like you have some implosions every now and again from Suarez. Jeremiah had his against the Dodgers, right? We've seen some guys have some, like Jason Adams had some rough outings. Maura Holmes been basically lights out the entire season.
Adrian Maura.
Yeah. So, but outside of those guys have been awesome. A couple, and the thing is, I would rather have a guy that's like every like I don't know, like 15 outings, he just gets absolutely rocked, and then the other 14, he's just money, and that's kind of what most of the Padres bullpen has been like. Starting depth, Kolek has put up some good innings. Cal Hart had a good day the other day. Bergert's been good. Randy Vasquez, bro, he's been a monster. Dylan Cease, not so much. All right, but even then, you've had a lot of guys step up. So the pitching staff, as much as we like, everyone is kind of frustrated. I think the whole fan base is like, oh, it's been rough. The pitching staff deserves so much credit. Offensively, I don't want to really blame a lot of guys. I know a lot of people are like, well, Merrill struggled. This guy struggled. Here's a problem. The Padres have half a lineup. It's the same thing that they had in 2023. They do not have a full lineup. They have no bench pieces. And when you do that, you have no lineup protection. Watch the games. Watch Tatis's at-bats. Every once in a while, he gets a cookie. But most of the time, they're throwing in at him. and then they're throwing him outside sliders, and that is all they're throwing him. And it's like all these guys have the pressure to try to have big hits all the time, and it's been rough. It's been really rough. Manny's been great. Tatis is hot again. He's also had a great year, so I don't want to say anything bad about it. Cronenworth's been solid. Not very concerned about a rise. Merrill's been bad, but like I think he's going to be all right at the end of the day. The main thing is the Padres need to add. Oh, also Gavin Sheets is awesome. The Padres need to add. That's the thing. And that's what we want to talk about today. I don't think the Padres need to add any pitching. They could add a lefty out of the bullpen, sure. Not really a priority at all, in my opinion. But Isaac, let's talk about these two guys. And I mean, talk about the offense too if you want. But I think the bottom line is you have to add 3 bats. There is no discussion. You have to add 3 bats. If you do that, this Padres lineup that has been bad. It has been very bad this year. I think it will change a lot. I think everyone's numbers will increase because when you have 3 guys at the bottom of the lineup every single night that are guaranteed outs, and also you tell me that it's hard. Like Jake Cronenworth comes up and it's the pressure for him to produce every single time he comes up to the plate at the bottom of the order is absurd because the 3-4 guys around him in the order are not going to do a thing. They're not going to do a thing. So he comes up knowing he has to produce. Like that's why you see him chase a lot of stuff. It's like he's like, well, Martin Maldonado's up next. If I don't produce here, we're not scoring. So I got to take a hack. But overall, I think it's so obvious. I think it's such a simple discussion, even though it's like, what's going on? It's the Padres lineup is bad right now, and they need to make some changes. So I haven't talked in a while here, dude. I talked for like 6 minutes right there. So I'll let you take over.
No, I get it, dude. I'm excited. You guys have no idea. If I sound like a stupid idiot, it's because we haven't done this in a while. But I'm so excited to talk Padres baseball. I haven't been this excited to talk to you guys in a minute. But shoot, man, you look at the Padres lineup right now. There are very, very, very obvious flaws. Left field, which if you've gotten, I believe you're 27th in left field production in the entire league. Catcher, you got a probably combined WRC plus of around 60, maybe 55 from Elias Diaz and Martin Maldonado. Elias Diaz has a 62 WRC plus, and I believe Martin Maldonado's below a 50, both having below 600 OPSs. So they are very, very bad at the plate. You can't argue that defensively they've made up for it because they haven't. Martin Maldonado is in the 1st percentile when it comes to throwing runners out. His pop time is in the 38th percentile. He's a horrible hitter. A lot of times it feels like he's coming up with runners in scoring position and he's not producing. Same thing with Elias Diaz. When you have Martin Maldonado catching and late in the game, you're saying we have a better offensive catcher. Let's pinch hit for Martin Maldonado. But that better offensive catcher is Elias Diaz with under a 600 OPS. There is a major problem.
Isaac, bring up his expected numbers.
Who's?
Diaz. You remember him?
Oh, dude. I got
you. Good. It's 1st percentile in batting average, on base, and slugging. That's the pinch hitter.
That's your pinch hitter. That is your pinch hitter late in the game. Think about that. You have somebody that has had a much shorter leash in AAA right now, Luis Campusano. You have nothing to lose by bringing up Luis Campusano, who the Padres have a positive record when he's behind the plate. He caught Dylan Cease's no-hitter. He's probably a better defensive catcher than both. He hits better than both. 2023, he was nasty at the plate. He was so good. It's not like that's just disappeared. And even if he's below league average, guess what? That is still way better than Elias Diaz and Martin Maldonado. You guys don't have any idea what I would do for an average catcher right now, for a below average catcher right now. So for as much as everyone says, and obviously the third need is going to be depth, the Padres really need depth, something that the Padres have been really good at these past few years. Damn, flat off there. Something the Padres have been good at in the years that they've made the playoffs. They've had depth, man. 2022, you had Josh Bell, Brandon Drury. They just had depth. I can't remember the names off the top of my head. But
the GOAT, Will Myers.
Grisham went crazy. You had guys that helped a lot off the bench. 2024, David Peralta, Kyle Higashioka, Donovan Solano. You had guys off the bench that were super, super good. Really good players. This year, you're trotting out fucking Tyler Wade, Brandon Lockridge, Trent Brooks. Your pinch hitters Elias Diaz when Martin Maldonado isn't going to come to the plate. What are you doing? What is going on? The Padres OPS since May 1st is, I believe, 677. And if you look at the Dodgers OPS since in that same time frame, there's a 771 despite struggles from Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez. You know, their guys have been struggling, and they are still damn near, they're 30 points away from an 800 OPS since May. Are you expecting to compete? And don't get me wrong, the Padres have had competitive games against the Dodgers. And I know the Dodgers aren't going to be their main competition right now because we're going for a wild card spot, and that's going to be the Giants, the Reds, the Brewers, the Mets/Phillies, you know, yada, yada, yada. Can you honestly say you're a better team than the Mets or the Phillies? Because I don't think so, lineup-wise at least. Can you say you're a better team than the Brewers? Maybe. I mean, you got the pitching to maybe match up with them, but I don't know. Giants, you're probably a bat or two away from being much better than the Giants. I firmly believe that. I think the Padres are a bat or two away from being better than the Giants, and that's ultimately your main competitor. You're not competing with the Dodgers anymore, and the Mets and the Phillies are probably both going to make the playoffs. The Brewers are probably going to make the playoffs. There's one open spot for sure in the NL wild card, probably the 6th spot, and you're competing with the Giants, the Reds, the Cardinals, etc. You're probably better than them all when you get some bats. So, as much as everyone says left field is the biggest issue, offensively, Gavin Sheets has been good. He's been very good. I will give AJ Preller props where it is deserved. He found Gavin Sheets, and Gavin Sheets has been a stud. Even if he plays below average defense, Petco Park doesn't require a lot from you defensively in left field. So everyone can say left field, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying left field isn't a big need right now. It is a need considering the offensive production you've gotten from Tirso Ornelas, Oscar Gonzalez, Brandon Lockridge, Tyler Wade, Gavin Sheets being excluded. Because other than Gavin Sheets, you've probably gotten the worst left field production in baseball. However, on the contrary, you can say the same about catcher. Catcher's probably been even worse. If you have Gavin Sheets in left field, the immediate need, the biggest need, is a catcher. I firmly believe that. If Gavin Sheets is probably not a full-time left fielder, but if he's your left fielder, immediately, catcher goes to the top. What Matt said about Jay Cronenworth is 100% correct. This dude is going up there knowing he can't strike out. He can't hit an infield fly. His best bet is I have a runner on third. I need to hit a ground ball to the second baseman or a deep fly ball. Because I know Martin Maldonado isn't going to do shit. So it's just don't get me wrong, man. The Padres are a good team. The Padres are, here's where it comes with Jiren Duran. This is where Jiren Duran comes in the picture. Jiren Duran, sorry if I'm talking a lot, Matt. Jarren Duran is the top trade target, apparently, for the Padres. There's a lot of smoke with the Padres and Jarren Duran. Matt and I talked about this. Seems like Preller, the only time where there was smoke and it actually came to be was Juan Soto. Of course, come on, everyone's going to go after Juan Soto. We had the top prospects to go after Soto. Of course, we're going to get Soto. I do not remember another time where the Padres have had smoke around a player and they've gotten that player. I don't remember another time. Josh Hader was a surprise. Brandon Drury was a surprise. I didn't expect Josh Bell to be in that trade. So I can't remember another time where the Padres have made a trade where it's like, oh, these guys have been linked for a little while. It's probably going to happen. So now going back to Jarren Duran, the Padres need slug. The Padres also need a guy that can hit lefties. Jarren Duran's slugging percentage is around 490. Now, that's a pretty good slugging percentage. But the Padres, contrary to popular belief, especially with some people that have watched baseball for a long time, and the Padres' current philosophy of Petco Park hitting, which is to find the gaps, get guys on base, is basically get them on, get them over, get them in. They need to hit home runs. The Padres are like 27th or 28th in home runs, and the teams that they're around, you do not want to be in their company. I can't remember those exact teams, but you do not want to be in their company.
It's not the good ones. I promise you that.
No, exactly. It's not the good ones. You're not around the good teams. You're not even around the average teams. You're around some pretty bad teams. Jiren Duran's highest home run total was 21. And I think Jiren Duran's a fantastic player. I know he put up like a 6+, 7+ WAR last year. And I do think he's a great player. I just don't know if he's a great player for the Padres. The Padres need slug. The Padres need a guy that can hit lefties. You guys want to know what Jarren Duran's OPS is against lefties? It's like 572. It's not good. Again, great player. defensively last year, a stud. Defensively this year, not as much. Super fast. Can play center field if needed. Bats at the top of the lineup. You guys are probably thinking, why would you guys not want Jarren Duran? I'm not saying I don't want Jarren Duran. I would be happy to get him. What I'm saying is he would not be my top trade target. And probably here soon we'll talk about a top trade target. I can't think of one off the top of my head. You got Taylor Ward, you got Ryan O'Hearn, who can play first base, a little bit of left field. A lot of people would say Luis Robert Jr., at least Robert, however you guys say it. But Jiren Duran, he's a name. He's a name. Okay, and that's the main thing. He's a name.
And Preller loves names, bro.
Preller loves names, dude. Preller loves names, and he's probably haunted by 2023 where he didn't go after the names and they ended up sucking. I get it. Okay, the names are good. Jiren Duran, All-Star last year, All-Star Game MVP. I don't know if he was like All MLB or anything, but he was a stud, dude. He was phenomenal last year. Now you're looking at the Red Sox. They have a surplus of outfielders: Roman Anthony, Willie Abreu, Sedano Rafaela, Masataka. I think it's Yoshida. I forgot his first name. There's tons. They have tons. So Duran is a surplus of what they have right now. So of course he's going to be on the table. However, are you guys willing to give up potentially Ethan Salas for Jarren Duran? And that's not saying, yeah, I don't think I am. And that's not saying that I'm not willing to give up Ethan Salas. I think Matt and I are both on board. I'm willing to give up Ethan Salas, but not for Jarren Duran. Matt, I didn't mean to speak for you, but I am willing to give up Ethan Salas.
You are? You said you are?
I am willing to, not for Jarren Duran, but in a different scenario, I'm willing to give up Ethan Salas.
Honestly, I might be willing to give up him for Duran. I'm sorry. Look, I don't want to count the guy.
I don't blame you.
I don't want to count the guy out. I really don't. Because I feel like it's like this dude's still 19. He's been hurt all year.
He hasn't been
and
good.
Also, I don't know. Some of the reality is with a lot of these prospects, it's like, look, dude, me and you can sit up here and be like, well, the prospect, blah, blah, blah. And I was watching a thing on, oh my God, what's his name, dude? The guy on the Mariners that just had a monster game, Woo, right?
Oh, Brian Woo, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Have you ever watched? There's a really cool video. Anyone that loves baseball should watch it. It's a video. I totally meant to send it to you guys last night or a couple nights ago, but it's about how he went to the same college as me, Cal Poly. The dude had a 6 ERA in college. He was a reliever with a 6 ERA, and the Mariners drafted him in the 5th or the 6th round because one of their scouts gave him a, keep in mind, this guy's like a 6 ERA reliever. He's like super, super low in that division of college baseball. That's not very good, right? I'm getting on a tangent, but we haven't talked in a while, so you guys are gonna have to deal with it, right? This is our longer video, like a live stream, but we haven't chatted, so we'll just do it like this. Anyways, quick story. I'll go quick. Basically, this dude had him as a 1-1 prospect, despite having a 6 ERA and being a very not a good pitcher, being a reliever, and basically it was just because of the deception of his arm angles and stuff. There's a really cool video about it. You guys should all watch it if you love baseball. It's really crazy. Had him as the number 1 graded prospect, and dude's like, I would take him number 1. I understand how outlandish that sounds. We have to reach on him. He's like the biggest reach in the draft. Dude is a monster. Dude is a monster. And so that's the thing with a lot of these guys. It's like, yeah, Salas might be struggling. He might be able to come back, but let's look at the sample size and what we understand. At least it's like the dude has not had a 600 OPS in high A or double A. If you can go trade for Jiren Duran, who had for Baseball Reference WAR, he had an 8-something WAR, and he was 8th in MVP voting last year, and he has 3 years left. Yeah, dude, I would do that. And obviously, it would cost more. That's the other thing. It would probably cost more.
It would probably cost Mayfield.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he's really hot at the plate right now too. So his stock is going up.
Yeah, but at the same time, I would rather the Padres make different moves. So we're talking about this video. We're talking about 2 guys, right? Jiren Duran, and I know we had a whole intro about the whole team and everything, but the guys that are being discussed at this point, guess what? I think we all know this. It's going to change. There's going to be 15 guys linked to the Padres, and hopefully we have the time to chat about them. I really want to. I love talking about the trade deadline stuff. It's so much fun.
Our favorite time.
Yeah. Shawn Murphy, Jiren Duran. Who makes the Padres better? Shawn Murphy, without a doubt. Shawn Murphy's more expensive. All right. Okay. Well, what if we do this? What if you trade Dylan Cease away and then you go get Shawn Murphy? Oh, same price tag. Look at that. Crazy. And also, like, you're telling me that Shawn Murphy's not going to be valuable after this season if you wanted to move him, if you don't want to invest in catcher. You're not going to have to trade as much to go get Shawn Murphy because he has a big price tag attached to him, because he's aging, because he has some declining attributes in his swing and stuff. But the bottom line is that Shawn Murphy has a catcher right now with a 786 OPS. And Schilt has to say this, he has to praise his catchers. They have to. They're not going to go out there. Schilt's not going to go into a press conference and be like, yeah, man, I think Maldonado sucks. I think we should trade. Like, of course, he's not going to say that. But you want to see some praise for a defensive catcher. Shawn Murphy is a monster defensive catcher.
One of the best defensive catchers in baseball.
So, yeah, you can start praising it. We saw, I think it was Maldonado or Diaz, like last night, just like completely missed the ball, like a pass ball that was like really bad. That almost cost the Padres the game. There was 2 times that they almost got cost the game because of poor defensive plays last night. But the thing is like the catcher position is a way bigger need. Also, if you go trade for Jiren Duran, right, you're going to have to trade a lot of those assets to go get him. The lineup's still incomplete, bro. You need 3 bats. Like, you need guys coming off the bench. We cannot have, like you said, Elias Diaz, who's first percentile in every offensive category. First percentile. He's the worst player in batting average, on base, and slugging. He is projected to be the very worst player. We cannot have that guy coming as the pinch hitter. We can go find platoon bats. I would way rather the Padres not spend that much. I think a lot of people are talking about the Padres, like what they have at the deadline. Like, hey, they don't have a lot to trade away. Dude, some of these pitchers are pretty intriguing. Net, he's got some interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Oh my God, what's the guy's Henry Baez? Putting up back-to-back great years. You have guys that are going to be more valuable than people put on. This happens every time the Padres have made a trade too. Like, where it's like look at like the Arise trades and the Cease trade, like those two. They didn't really give up that much. And the Padres, right? Their farm system was even more depleted last year, wasn't it? Yeah, like, that's how people chatted.
Scouts think, front offices think that the Padres have a lot of underrated guys in their farm system. So whatever the farm system rankings think doesn't really matter. We've seen guys that are like, oh, what the heck? Like, I didn't expect him to be so highly valued. It's how teams value them. It's not how analysts value them. It's not how we value them. Going back to Shawn Murphy, 806 OPS against lefties. Doesn't that sound like a perfect fit? 777 against righties, so he's also not that bad against righties. He's a good defensive catcher. That's what I'm saying when I say, like, the need goes from, if Gavin Sheets is consistently in left field, I don't care if he's a below average defender. If he's hitting, I don't care. The need goes to catcher. And I don't expect Gavin Sheets to be the everyday left fielder, and I understand the need for a left fielder. Because, yes, whether you get a left fielder or not, you need outfield depth. You can't keep going with this, right? However, you can go get Shawn. Honestly, probably going to have to get creative. He might have to trade Dylan Cease. He might have to trade Robert Suarez. Am I opposed to either going? Absolutely not. I'm cool with either or going. Okay. Dylan Cease is going to get talked about here soon by us, by Matt and Chase. I will say, I want him gone. I don't think he will be gone. That's all I'll say.
I think both of them are going to stay.
I think
Suarez makes less sense to trade. I know he's had his struggles, but he's always kind of up and down. You know what I mean? Like, he goes through like a couple of rough weeks.
Yeah, that's happened last year. And I mean, the Padres value him super, super highly. But, going back to these two, Jiren Duran and Shawn Murphy, you're looking at Shawn Murphy and you're saying, hey, this guy's been valuable against both arms, both sides of the mound, really, against lefties and righties. Good behind the plate. Plugs in as a righty. You really need a righty bat, honestly. You need a right-handed bat way more than you need a left-handed bat. He just makes so much sense, And I know a lot of people don't think Shawn Murphy will get traded. I don't see why not. I know they have a good core, but, everyone talks about Albies. Everyone's talking about Ozuna. Ozuna is a really good possibility to get traded. Albies probably won't get traded. Shawn Murphy, though, why wouldn't he? They have their catcher of the future. Drake Baldwin is their catcher of the future. So they're not even going to ask for Salas from us. It'll probably cost Mayfield. It'll probably cost Net. I don't know what else it'll cost, but we have apparently a lot of underrated guys that can go in a deal. And right now,
what do the Braves need, bro? That's the other thing.
Well, the Braves need middle infield. They need a shortstop.
Yeah, but they also they need pitching depth.
They need pitching. Yeah, they need
Their
pitching.
bullpen's been terrible too. We have a bunch of bullpen arms. We have a surplus of bullpen arms. That's the other thing, you know?
Yeah, no, they need bullpen arms. Yeah, man. I mean, the main thing that scared me was they need a shortstop, and our top prospect just so happens to be a shortstop. That's not fucking happening. He's not going anywhere.
How about we get a little Ronnie out there in the you want to get a corner outfielder? Let's go get Ronnie, and then we're
talking.
Ronnie. if the Padres were able to, okay, let's think about this. The Padres went and got Ronnie, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's like the Yankee team. If they had Ronnie, Merrill, and I know everyone's like Merrill sucks right now. No. I'm not. Merrill's gonna bounce back. All right. He's a psycho, dude. That guy's a psycho. He's gonna bounce back. He's also like 21 or 22, and he's losing his mind at the plate right now. Which I think it's bad for the win-loss column right now. I think it's great that he's struggling right now. Like for his development, this dude is a beast, dude. He's a maniac. He's gonna tear it up. What's gonna happen? They put him in the heart of the order now. He's gonna come up in a big spot soon. He's gonna hit a monster home run, and you're gonna see him lose his fucking mind, dude. He's gonna freak the fuck out, and then he's gonna be back. All right, that's baseball.
Also, I need to say real quick, Jackson Merrill hit a ball over 100 miles per hour with a perfect launch angle at Petco Park, and it didn't fucking leave the yard. It leaves the yard almost everywhere else. It is awful. Playing at Petco really messes with you, man. It is so bad playing at Petco. It sucks. But no, Matt, you're right. Jackson Merrill's going to be fine. What do we have to worry about Jackson Merrill for? He's 21, 22 years old. Guys, the night he struck out 3 times, he was in the cage, is trying to figure it out. He's trying. This team does have heart. Jackson Merrill especially is like, this guy has heart, man. He wants to be up there and he wants to succeed. So give him a break. Like, he's going to be fine. I'd rather him be cold now than in August, September, October. He's going to be fine.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, dude, I mean, this is why, I mean, maybe it's just like the storybook endings that always happen, but it's like, yeah, who's like the guy that like clutches up? It's like, yeah, we've watched Merrill actually be the craziest guy in the clutch. Like he was the best clutch hitter. And also another thing to talk about fixing the order. We talk about these guys to trade for. I think overall, real quick before we get into it, before like we kind of have our final pieces on Duran and Shawn Murphy, is like, let's adjust the lineup a little bit. I don't care about the righty lefty alternating. Guess what? It hasn't worked, right? It hasn't worked. Have you noticed that, Isaac? Because I've noticed that it doesn't really matter if we put a righty lefty. How about we just put guys up where they're good at? So if Xander Bogaerts, if you keep hitting him 5th, guess what he's going to keep doing? He's going to keep hitting, 165 in over 100 appearances, 100 plate appearances with guys on base, hitting 501. Exactly. 501 OPS.
He's going to keep punishing the infield grass with ground balls with runners in 2nd and 3rd.
You know what he's good at? He's good at getting on base. He is good at that when there's no one on. Put him up. And we talked about before we got on. How about we have Xander lead off? All right. How about our core guys that are going to come up with runners in scoring position are Fernando Tatis, are Manny Machado, who's hitting like almost 400 in the big spots this year, and Jackson Merrill. Guess what? Jackson Merrill's slumping. He might miss a couple. What's the best way to have a slump, dude? Rep it out. Keep coming up with guys on. Keep coming up with guys on.
Confidence, yeah.
Like, so have him up. Sheets also. Sheets has been amazing with guys in the clutch. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's a big thing. I think you add a few bats, you add some platoon guys, you add guys that they're not star players. They need to add guys that can hit, dude. They need to add guys that have a little bit of pop. You change the lineup up. Is Duran a good player? 100%.
Yeah.
If you can get Duran on some, like, it's not that expensive. Okay, now we're talking. You have him for the next few years. You have a core of players that you're going to hang on to. I don't hate the move for Duran, but it's not just like you're going to bring him in and everything's fixed. Now you bring in Ronnie. Whew. I think everything might be fixed if you bring in Ronnie. I don't really care who's coming up. Ronnie's going to hit his nukes. He's going to get on base. If you had Ronnie and Tatis at the top of the order, that'd be the scariest shit ever, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's happening. Also, it's just a fun one. It's a fun hypothetical.
It's a pipe dream.
Yeah. But Shawn Murphy's a better option. Here's the one thing that I'll say: if they go through this trade deadline and they add a guy like Jiren Duran or some outfielder, and they add one outfielder, they don't really improve the bench that much, and they don't touch catcher. I don't know if they make the playoffs. And legitimately, like, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I've come around on AJ Preller quite a bit. It's been too many years where you've seen the same problems. It's like almost to the point where it's like, if you do that, it's like, what are you thinking, bro? Like you're great at finding the talent. You're great at scouting the farm and building up the farm and bringing talent into the building. Why can't you like construct a team that makes sense? You did it with the pitching the last few years. Because remember, early on in the Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis era, it wasn't about the lineup. It was about the fact that they had no pitching depth and would fall apart. They've done excellent in that. How do you not have the lineup depth this year? It's not like these guys are expensive. It's not like you don't have, and I don't even really believe in Luis Campusano to be like a full-on guy, but I think he could be better than Diaz Maldonado at the catcher. You know, like what are we doing, man? Like it gets to the point where it's like, you're not going to figure it out, huh? Like, so that's the other thing. That's the thing. Like, I also think they're going to get a catcher. If they don't get a catcher, that'd be insane. One other question I have before you kind of give your final pieces. If they trade for one catcher, whoever it is, I'm going to give my prediction. I bet you that they cut Diaz and they keep Maldonado. Right? Like, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if they trade for, I mean, Shawn Murphy's the smoke right now, man. I mean, there's going to be other catchers. Danny Jansen from Tampa Bay is available. Kyle Higashioka is available. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who exactly it's going to be. I do think that the Padres will, might prioritize an outfielder just because I keep hearing the stupid crap about how important Diaz and Maldonado are right now, but it's just really dumb. So I do think left field is going to be their main priority, especially because you do need, honestly, offensive production anywhere is really valuable, but you do need left field offensive production. You do get it from Gavin Sheets, but you kind of want Gavin Sheets as your DH or Luis Arraez as your DH. We've talked about that before. I have to wrap it up because I got to go. But, my final thoughts would be Shawn Murphy fits his team better than Jiren Duran. Shawn Murphy, if you're going to go after a big name, if you're going to go after a big trade target, it's going to be Shawn Murphy. Like I said, over an 800 OPS against lefties, 777 against righties. So good against both, good against pitchers in general. Having a good year, great catcher. I'm not saying I wouldn't be happy with Jarren Duran because Jarren Duran is a great player. He's fun to watch. He's very fast. He's got potential for a good glove. He's not having his best year. He's getting super hot right now, though. Maybe he carries that to wherever he goes. I do think he's probably going to get traded. Red Sox are half a game up in a wild card spot right now. I want to say they've been super hot. I think they're they have like a 7-game win streak. So I don't know. I honestly don't really know if Jarren Duran will get traded. I think he will just because they have a surplus of outfielders, but he's one of the main reasons they're doing so good right now. So who knows, man? I do think there's going to be a very active trade deadline. You got teams like the Dodgers going after relief pitching, Phillies going after some pitching and bats, Mets going after some bats. You got a lot of Yankees wanting to go all in. It's going to be a very active trade deadline, but the Padres, AJ Preller, are always very active. They're going to have to get creative. They're going to have to maybe look at a 3-team trade. They're going to have to possibly look at trading. And I don't want them to trade a bullpen arm, but they might have to trade Suarez. They might have to trade Estrada. They might have to trade, some of their guys down in the minors. Net, Mayfield, even Salas. Who knows what they're going to do? They have to get creative. Look, guys, at the end of the day, AJ Preller's contract is up, I believe, after next year. He doesn't care if the prospects are still around. He'll trade them.
And there might be a lockout too.
There might be a lockout. You want to win.
Under development a ton.
Yeah, it's a huge thing right now. You want to win right now. You got to go out there. You got to make the playoffs. I want to win the World Series, but honestly, I want to make the playoffs. I want to go against the Dodgers again. I want to be against them in the NLDS or the NLCS. I want to see them again, whether we lose or not. We have to go out there and we have to make the playoffs. Otherwise, it is a massive, massive failure of a season. You've wasted a great year from Manny Machado so far. Xander Bogaerts has come around. Granted, he's asked the runners in scoring position, but he's come around. He's got his OPS up like 80 points over the past 30 games. Solid year from Jake Cronenworth. You're going to get a 5-6 WAR from Fernando Tatis. If you don't make the playoffs this year with the production you're getting from some of your guys, Luis Arraez has gotten hot. Your bullpen's been one of the best in the game. Your starting pitchers have held it down. If you don't make the playoffs, it is a massive failure. You have to go out, you have to get a catcher, and you have to get some depth. I honestly, I don't think the Padres need to make big swings at the deadline. I don't think they have to go get Jarren Duran. I think they have to get a solid producing catcher. I think they have to get 2 solid producing outfielders, and that's it. You deepen your lineup so much if you do that. Otherwise, you're going to keep trotting out Tyler Wade. You're going to keep trotting out Trenton Brooks. You're going to keep trotting out Martin Maldonado, Elias Diaz, etc. And it's just really bad. So, all in all, I got to go right now. But the Padres have to make some moves. So, Matt, those are my finishing thoughts. I will let you go ahead and finish it out. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, man. I couldn't have been more excited to talk to you guys about baseball. We'll be back. We'll try and make more videos because this is my favorite time of the year when it comes to baseball, other than the playoffs. But we'll be back. Yeah, for sure. So.
Later, Isaac.
And myself. All right, later, guys.
Yeah. All right. I'll wrap it up right now too. But yeah, it's been fun coming on. Chatting baseball, talking Padres. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me too. I mean, super long video. I mean, usually you guys know we don't make them this long, but it'd been a long time to talk to chat, so we had to talk about the overall Padres and everything like that. So, thank you all for listening. We'll be back. We'll talk about Dylan Cease. Hopefully we'll get some stuff going. Hopefully we'll get some consistency. I like I said, I don't think it's going to be like crazy like it used to, but it's still fun. It's super enjoyable. Maybe we can make it work. So thank you all. We'll talk to you soon, and go Padres. Hopefully they make the trades that are necessary to make the playoffs and go on a run and everything like that. So thank you all for listening. Talk to you later. Peace.